Welcome to the Florida College Access Network 2021 College Ready Florida Innovator Awards. Each year, FCAN recognizes community leaders and college and career professionals who go above and beyond the call by utilizing innovative strategies to support students in pursuing an education beyond high school. Faced with a year like no other, we saw schools and organizations push forward despite the barriers caused by the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure Florida students continue to have a bright outlook for their futures. That's why this year FCAN is pleased to honor Jillian Hasner, President and CEO of Take Stock in Children, as the 2021 College Ready Florida Innovator. As the president and CEO of Take Stock in Children, Jillian ensures the organization's efforts focus on college enrollment, college and career planning, and financial aid to support degree attainment. Take Stock's programs relies on community collaboration with state, college, and local education foundations and other community organizations to provide college access and support services to over 15,000 students from low-income households annually throughout Florida. Like other community organizations and mentoring programs, Take Stock had to navigate pivoting their services last year due to the pandemic. To accommodate at home virtual learning and social distance requirements, Take Stock transitioned their 25-year in person model to include in school, virtual, and hybrid options for college readiness support in the 2020 2021 school year. Their mentoring and coaching services were conducted on their newly developed Take Stock app, created by a longtime Take Stock mentor just in time for pandemic virtual support. The app allowed mentors and mentees to remain in contact through the text and video chat features. The TakeStock app has logged almost 15,000 mentoring sessions since its launch in September 2020, and mentors have chatted with their mentees nearly 272,000 times. College success coaches met with their students using a virtual video platform to ensure students remain on a positive path. They review student progress on essential college readiness items applicable to each grade level, ensuring that students stay on track with the college going process. Lastly, Take Stock in Children and Take Stock in College developed an on-demand college readiness workshops around key topics for high school seniors. These recorded trainings have been provided throughout the Take Stock in Children network to ensure that students have access to necessary information for post-secondary attainment. By tracking attendance, Take Stock staff could reach out to students to ensure they access the information to stay on track with college readiness. Taking the initiative to bring in new tools to bridge the gap in support services is why FCAN is thrilled to honor Jillian as the 2021 College Ready Florida Innovator. Congratulations, Jillian.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this award means to me and to the entire Take Stock network and family. I want to just start by thanking FCAN for all the work that you all do with us and the partnership that we have with you. Of all the awards that we could have gotten, I think this one means the most because of the work that went into innovating during this pandemic and what it meant to turn it around so quickly. You get a real sense of your team and your partners and your relationships that you have when you have to go through a crisis like we've all gone through. And so I really want to say how much it means to me and to all of us at Take Stock to be recognized with this award.
You know, that's a great place to start, Jillian. As our collaborative work in so many of the statewide organizations that we work with throughout the year, uh, you know, I think this showed how important those relationships were. When you're facing a worldwide pandemic, all of a sudden you really begin to appreciate how important those collaborations and those connections are. So let's start with the pandemic. You had to
Yeah.
take stock, had to navigate pivoting your entire model last March to meet the needs of a changed world almost overnight. So, what exactly went into remodeling your organization's entire service model that had been in place for years?
Well, I remember it like yesterday. I think as many of us do, and we probably won't soon forget it. But I was in Tallahassee, and when words started to kind of develop and spread around about how things might start to shut down, and then I was driving home. It was the end of legislative session, driving home as little things were starting to pop up on my phone about school districts looking at possibly closing down. And I remember calling back to my team saying, hey, I think we could have a real problem. Being an organization for 25 years, had an in-school, in-person mentoring model. And if you can't get in the school, you can't do your work. And what that would really mean for our students if they were going to be home and our schools were closed. And so really spent the rest of my drive on the phone with the team saying, let's get to work, because at that point, schools were off for spring break. And I knew we had a short window where if we really put our heads down, we could try to create a virtual model where our network and our students and our mentors could not miss a beat. And especially during what I knew would be a really critical time for our students, and they would need our services and our mentors more than ever, that we could be there for them. And so we went to work, and not only for our Take Stock in Children 6th through 12th grade program, but also for our Take Stock in College program. So in total, we serve students at all of our 40 public colleges and universities. So we serve 15,000 students each year. And so we went to work with a virtual program for our college students as well. And so we had to look at things though, like what resources could we use? We would need electronic document signature programs. So we looked at Script app, Zoom, our Take Stock app, which we had already started developing, but it was supposed to be completely different. And so we had to look at how could we utilize that and make that different. One of the big things was ensuring the safety and security of our students in a virtual model. The legalities of going to a virtual model. Making certain we had the right permissions that we would need for virtual services, establishing just protocols and rules for the road. So it seems easy to just say, well, we'll go virtual, but you have to design and develop all the protocols for how the tools can be utilized and implemented. So updating all of our tracking tools for virtual. So again, it's one of those things where it seems very simple, but there are a lot of complexities involved. So tracking and capturing all of the mentoring, visits accurately in a virtual world, and how would we do that? Because that kind of changes everything. And then again, refitting our app that we had started working on, but was really a way when we first developed it was supposed to be a way for our mentors to log their mentor in-person mentor sessions easily. And we had to redirect that to be able to accommodate expanded virtual services. So we really kind of had to take stock and really create an entirely new program in the span of about 10 days, because we wanted to make certain when kids came back from spring break, we were ready to go, and that required all new training and everything. And I have to say, I would be remiss if I didn't stop and just say, this is really a story about resilience from our staff, our entire network of staff and programs, our mentors, our students, and everyone's ability to adapt and change, because this has been a challenging year for everyone, not just in adapting to innovation, but the challenges that people were going through personally as we all went through this. So understanding that was going on, but the willingness to take on this challenge of really learning almost an entirely new program, we developed a motto: impact over obstacles. But I would also say it was impact through innovation. So I have to say a big shout out and thanks to our entire team and our Take Stock family for all they did to make this really a successful year in spite of kind of this historic event that we've gone through.
You know, one of the things that you're bringing up, I've heard from other members in the community is we had to innovate, and through that innovation, we actually found some possibly better ways of operating. So can you speak a little bit more about what are some of those successes that you've found from shifting your model, and how will that inform your practices once the pandemic is finally over?
Well, I would say that for the first thing is we learned that we were meeting students more where they wanted us to be and where they needed us to be. You know, they live in this virtual world. And I think that we learned that there is a tendency to be more open and share their feelings and how they're doing when we meet them in this virtual world that they're really comfortable in. You know, some for me, that this may not necessarily be my comfort place, but it is for them. And I give our mentors and our staff so much credit for adapting to this, but also learning how comfortable our students are here in the virtual world, and how much they love it and their willingness to open up and share and enjoy it. And so I think we've learned a lot from that. I would also say that, you know, with that being said, we will carry this forward to create much more of a hybrid version going forward, because I also think that there is that need for some in-person guidance and experience that our young people can learn that can only come from some in-person experience with our mentors. But I do think that we've learned a lot through this. So I fully recognize that this is here to stay, and how much we appreciate all that our young people and our students have taught us about this through this experience. I would also say just being able to continue our work by learning remotely. We've learned a lot in terms of our staff and our network, how we just through remote working have learned to communicate and keep in touch with each other, and create a sense of closeness and openness and sharing, and making certain that we're keeping up with our work and everything that needs to be done So I think we've learned a lot as a staff and a team through some of the technologies that we've implemented and utilized to keep our work going. So I think that that's been our tremendous asset, that we never really realized how much we could get done by working remotely. And I think that that's something that I've come to genuinely appreciate, and how much the team is willing to give. I think we've learned a lot about through our large group mentoring sessions. This is something that we started to help students learn more about careers, where we have guest mentors speak directly about certain career paths. And our students really took to these and have requested more of these. So I think you'll see us continue to do more of these. And so I think that there's so many things that we learn from this. And also in our college program, how much our students connected with our college team throughout this, in terms of our virtual office hours and our willingness, the students' willingness to call and share and express the needs that they were having, and our ability to connect with our college and university partners to help navigate some of this, some of the issues and challenges our college students were facing, and the importance of having being able to connect with someone on the other end of the phone, or a Zoom call. I think that was really important. So there are so many things that we've taken away from this that we're definitely going to continue. Where maybe before we thought we needed to have, an in-person event or something like that, but now we're able to connect with so many more students through webinars and Zoom socials, because again, we're meeting them where they want us to be. And so we're finding greater efficiencies and effectiveness in our time and in theirs. And I would also share a lot of recorded trainings and shorter and trainings. So small bite trainings, I would call them, where we're allowing folks to, because everyone's so busy, learn just as much, but in smaller increments. So different things that we've tried out that we'll be carrying forward. But we're always learning. We're always going to continue to innovate, and so that we can get better at what we do. Because ultimately, our goal is, this is all about the student. How can we continue to help them succeed and achieve post-secondary degree attainment? That's our goal.
Well, such great examples of not only innovation, but how something as difficult as a pandemic can bring out the best in our staff, in our teams, in our collaborations, and in our students, that end up making the work better over time. And thank you for spending the time with us today, Jillian, to help us understand a little bit more about all of the innovations that Take Stock in Children have brought to the table for our students, and to share such a great example of resilience that our students can learn from. That is why we're so excited to recognize you as the 2021 College Ready Florida Innovator. Thank you for joining us, Jillian.
Thank you.